Coach, one win, one loss to start conference play. Had a really tough one with SFA, but you guys were able to bounce back. If you could just share your thoughts on the first week in conference play.
Yeah, our Christmas break's really short. Most college students have 4 or 5 weeks off for Christmas, and we took 4 days off. But really pleased with the way our players came back. They had great attitudes. I think they were genuinely excited to see one another and get back to working. We played at Tarleton first. Our players, they just played like they were so prepared and just kind of anticipated actions, and we forced a lot of turnovers that turned into transition shots for us. Thought we executed well offensively, so really pleased with just our first WAC competition. It was on the road. We were gone all week. Both of our games were on the road, and so just really pleased with how our players handled themselves. I thought Bella Earl kind of had a breakout game at Tarleton, knocked some big shots down for us, and we had a lot of good defensive possessions for sure. From Tarleton, we drove on to Nacogdoches and had a good practice there Friday and played Saturday, and honestly, that one's going to sting a little while. We had the lead at halftime and kind of traded the lead a lot in the second half and had an opportunity to tie it with about 11 seconds to go in the game and missed a really nice shot. Actually had the opportunity to take the lead with about 20 seconds, so we missed a layup, and then we missed a three. So we've got to figure out how to finish those close games. But again, just really pleased with our players after a one-day prep, getting ready for SFA, really executed well. We were ready to shoot the ball. Thought we shared the ball well, forced a lot of turnovers again, and so 2 very well played games. We just didn't get the outcome we wanted on Saturday, but I was really proud of just how our players went into the week and were really serious about our preparations and played 2 really good teams in Tarleton and SFA.
What do you feel like was the biggest difference in that SFA game?
If you look at the stats, we got out-rebounded, and that was pretty significant. We didn't get the extra possessions we needed from rebounding, but offensively, we shot the ball well from the three-point line. Would like to have made a few more free throws. We were just, when you are in a 1 and 2 possession game, you can just look at so many different things, but you just need to hit 2 more shots and you win the ball game. And so, I think we've got to get back to practice this week. Emphasizing rebounding again. Our non-conference schedule, we were really good rebounding team, and this week we were just kind of average. We've got to get back to hanging our hat on being a good rebounding team, but overall, like I said, really pleased with our first week of the WAC, and it's really, really hard to win on the road. On Thursday night, there were 12 WAC games between the men and the women, and only 2 teams won on the road, and we were one of those, and so it's really hard to win on the road. If you can pick some of those up along the way, that really helps you out as far as the success of your WAC season.
And the extra plus, you've got a couple home games this week.
Praise.
Yeah. Looking ahead to those 2 matchups, you've got Sam Houston, UT Arlington. Just looking at the importance of this week.
Yeah, Sam Houston is a very familiar foe. We've played them so many times, and Coach Justice does a phenomenal job with them. We can anticipate a really good defensive battle. I mean, they're going to be up in your business and trying to, take some things away, force turnovers. UTA, we haven't seen in years. We played them our very first year as a Division I program and beat them in Arlington. So we haven't seen them in a long time. So this will be a brand new opponent for us, and one that looks like we need to get familiar with. We'll be playing them a lot from now on in the WAC. But yeah, we're really excited to be at home. Excited to play in front of our home crowd. It's fun when you're on the road. After a game, you get so many messages. People that are at home, watching on ESPN Plus and following the game. And but it is there's not really any substitution for playing at home, where your fans are there in person cheering you on. And so we are thankful to be at home all week.
And Coach, you talked about just finishing the game and making sure that you can come out on top. What type of steps are you guys going to take leading towards that?
I think going into practice, we've just got to emphasize winning possessions. In a tight game, you think about the last minute of the game, but it was probably something you did in the third quarter, or maybe something you did right before halftime. So you've just got to emphasize, I think, just winning possession after possession. We work a lot on scoring, get a stop scoring, a score, stop, score, or vice versa, stop, score, stop. And, like winning 3 possessions in a row can make all the difference in the world in a game that comes down to just 1 or 2 possessions. So, just valuing the ball down the stretch is really important. But, just winning possessions along the way, when you lose a close game, if you could just get 3 possessions back at some point in the game, it changes the outcome. And so just, getting our young team to understand how important every possession is.
Since this is such a young team, what is something that you kind of just thrilled about that you probably didn't expect early on in the season, but not here you guys are doing right now during the season?
We have a really good point guard tandem going on right now. They have affectionately named themselves Salt and Peppa. But Aspen Thornton has been our starting point guard, and she's really showing a lot of maturity through the last really 4 games that we played. And then Zoe Jackson, she adds a whole different level of just energy and excitement when she subs into the game. And so they're very complimentary of one another. And they're both sophomores. Their first year with us, second year to play college ball, and I think just watching them mature and grow and figure out our system has been a really neat thing to watch that develop.
I asked Brett this. I wanted to hear your thoughts on it. What do you feel like is the biggest difference between non-conference play and conference play?
I think there's just more on the line. There's more at stake with conference play. And when we had our first team meeting back after Christmas, I put everybody's records up on the board. We were sitting tied for 4th. And then I erased everybody's records and said we're all 0-0 right now. So what we did in non-conference play, it was great. It prepared us for WAC play, but everybody's 0-0, and after Thursday, we jumped up to number 1, and so I think just there's more at stake in WAC play, even though, our kind of wacky seating right now with the conference tournament actually takes into account your non-conference play, which I've never experienced anything like that, but we'll see how that all works out. But I think just the importance of, you're playing for a conference championship, you're playing for seating in your conference tournament, so each game has a little bit more value and worth to it than your non-conference games did.